Disclaimer. The following podcast is not sponsored by the WWE or AEW, nor is it a direct product of either company. The opinions, views, and thoughts discussed here are those solely of the participants and do not reflect the thoughts, views, or opinions of the WWE/AEW, its staff, talent, affiliates, or management. The following podcast is for mature audiences and is for entertainment purposes only. What's up, everybody? Welcome back once again to the Bevil podcast. That's Beans. I'm Evil, and together we are Bevil.
Evil.
All right, on the show today we have a lovely guest, my fiance, Mrs. Evil. She's right down there. There she is. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Oh boy. All right. So, the big topic today, the thing that's on everybody's minds, what is going on with Bray Wyatt? Where is he going? After cryptic tweet 2,655 at this point, he has dropped yet another cryptic tweet, and all it said was 2 more days. So, as we know, 2 days from now is either Friday Night SmackDown or AEW. A lot of people are reading a lot into this, though, because it simply could mean it's 2 days until his no-compete clause is up. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's headed to any specific brand right now. If anything, WWE stars, wrestlers in general these days have gotten real comfortable with these cryptic tweets, and I think it's fair to say Bray Wyatt has become the master of the cryptic tweet. Like I said, nobody has any idea where he's going, what it could mean. As of right now, what we know is that he did not reach an agreement with Impact Wrestling, so that is obviously off the table. Ring of Honor is actually shutting down for a little bit, so that is off the table. Not that I would see Bray Wyatt going to Ring of Honor, and I don't mean to shit on Ring of Honor in any way. They are a wonderful program, but in my opinion, I think it would be a step down because, respectfully, Ring of Honor is supposed to be a developmental program. It's basically the last step before going to NXT. So with those two respectively off the table, we have no idea where Bray's going to go. He could surprise us all and once again return to the WWE. So I'd like to get your guys' thoughts and opinions. By the way, before we get too deep into the video, make sure you're liking, clicking that bell, and subscribing. Subscribing.
I'm Raymond.
Yeah, big time Raymond. All right.
Right.
Whoever wants to take it first, go for it.
I'm gonna listen. Oh.
To me, it would make absolutely no sense for him to even go back to WWE because, like I said, they released him. Why would you release somebody and then have them come back within the same amount of time frame as their no compete clause? That makes absolutely no sense. And like I said, go ahead, Beans.
No, sorry, go on. It's fine. But I have a habit of doing that. It's fine, Karen.
Like I said, even with smaller promotions, who's to know, maybe he doesn't want to go back into the big old limelight. Maybe he wants to help other students. Maybe he's got something else personal going on that's 2 days away. People, they don't put They don't really make whole lot of sense sometimes, though, either. It could be something personal, it could be something business, nobody knows. And I think the bad habit the wrestling fans have is that they look too much into little small cryptic stuff when it could absolutely have nothing to do with anything.
Go ahead, Bean.
Who's to say?
Huh?
Come on.
So I think, see, personally, I think he's turning up tomorrow night at SmackDown because if you check out his Instagram, which is obviously WINDHAM, he has in his Instagram bio, I think it's like the return of WINDHAM or something along them lines. I'm not necessarily sure, but also on his Twitter name is still at WWE Bray Wyatt, but you can actually change that. And WWE, this is what I've heard, has specifically said that if we've let you go, you have to take it out, which is understandable because you're not part of WWE anymore. So I remember Evil, you telling me, which we haven't actually spoke about on the podcast, Vince and Bray Wyatt were having a massive debate because he wanted the Fiend to be a full character. Bray Wyatt was like, no, I don't want that to happen. You know? So what if eventually he's agreed to it, you know, fired Bray Wyatt and keeping him or making him return to something different, as in WINDHAM, you know? So the Fiend might totally be gone and he's coming back to something better, and if it happens, that'd be fantastic. Oh, well, it would be brilliant. But then what would he do? Would he go for Roman Reigns? I don't know. You know what's actually going to happen with that. But I think personally, I'm like 60% sure he's going to go back to SmackDown tomorrow night because there's a lot of stuff there. Because he still kept pictures of the Fiend up on his Instagram, even on his Twitter. He's been liking posts from WWE. You know, so I think they've made some sort of deal with him to say if we say we get rid of Bray Wyatt, it's no longer existent, we're going to make something brand new off the table because the Fiend was his own creation, his own idea. You know, and there was also rumours that it was too scary for PG. So maybe he's doing something completely different and coming back as this totally different thing, you know?
Well, I mean, respectfully, like you said, the Fiend character, was his. There's no way in hell that WWE Creative was creative enough to come up with something like that. That was 100% Bray or WINDHAM. You know, so it makes all the sense in the world that he would still have pictures of the Fiend on his Instagram, on his Twitter. Now, you did bring up a very interesting point about him still having at WWE Bray Wyatt as his Twitter handle, which that definitely could raise some eyebrows. And you know, it's like I said, honestly, respectfully, we don't know. You know, I agree and disagree with Miss Evil, obviously, because the only reason that I could see him going back to WWE, now I again, let's keep in perspective. These are our opinions. I'm not speaking for him, but I would see him going back to WWE if the money is right. You know, after not having that paycheck for a while, old big money Vince could make it worth his while. But it's like I said, at the end of the day, we have no idea what he's doing, where he's going, where he's going to end up. We just don't know.
And as far as the WWE still being in his Twitter tag, I guess you can say I don't have Twitter. I don't know how it works. But maybe he's not even allowed to take that out until his clauses or contract or whatever is completely over with. Maybe he has to have that in there up until then. Could be some kind of legal reason behind it.
I don't know. I don't know how all that works either. But you would think, I mean, if I got fired from somewhere, like, I don't know, let's say I worked at fucking Applebee's and I got fired, I wouldn't keep my Twitter handle as Applebee's Ryan05 or whatever the case may be, or Applebee's Evil Hat. I just leaked my real name. Anyway, but but anyway, like I don't know how that all works either. But it's like I said, he's gotten very good at being cryptic, at being cryptic is what I meant to say, cryptic. He's been very good at being cryptic, and who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Now, the next thing I want to ask you guys and get your opinions on, do you think? And I want a unbiased opinion for reasons, because when I ask the question, I already know where this is going to go. Do you think that Bray's crypticness and where he's going to end up, do you think that has more hype than CM Punk's return?
I think that originally CM Punk was a lot bigger because, when he turned up to AEW, it was going on for. Well, let's be honest, it's still going on now. The pop he still gets now is unbelievable, So I think they're very, very level, but in different ways, if that makes sense. Obviously CM Punk, best in the world. Everyone knows about him. He was brilliant in WWE. And then because I couldn't compare them both because they're two completely different people when it comes to wrestling aspect. So obviously you got Bray Wyatt, which is more the dark, sinister type, whatever you want to call it. And then you got CM Punk, which is everybody listens, the microphone skills. And so I couldn't actually put who was better because they're both up there in their own ways because they're two different people when it comes to the wrestling. That's what I could say about that.
For me, everybody knows I'm not on the whole entire CM Punk train. I never have been, and I never will be. But I feel they each have their own little fan base. So the one main reason why I think Punk got a big pop is what he did is because he was away for 7 years. Bray hasn't been. But also Bray has been more relevant than when CM Punk has. He's been in people's faces more as of here lately. So in order to say, who gets, the bigger following or pop or whatever, that's not fair to say.
No. It's not about who gets the bigger pop or whatever. So here's my take on it. You ready? So as I said before, of course the speculation for a while was CM Punk going to sign with AEW? We all knew that he wasn't going back to WWE. No matter how many times the WWE fans cheered for him or chanted his name, we knew it wasn't going to happen. What we were waiting on is to see when and where he was going to turn up on AEW. Now, after a while, it became obvious that he was going to go to AEW. We just didn't know when or where. And then all of a sudden we kept getting, it's going to be September 5th. It's going to be September 5th. He's coming back in Chicago, right? So even though he got that big, massive pop, we knew it was coming. Now, here's my point about Bray Wyatt. As I said before, we don't know where Bray is going to go. We don't know what show he's going to turn up on. We don't know if he's going to turn up on anything. Like you said, we have no idea what it means. So I feel like Bray is doing a much better job at keeping things quiet so that wherever it is he returns, SmackDown, Raw, fucking AEW, New Japan, where the fuck ever he goes, that pop is going to be massive. Because like I said, we literally have no idea when, where, and I just think that he's done a wonderful job at keeping things hush-hush. And I think honestly, like I said, no matter where he goes, it's gonna be like, oh fuck, he's back. Yes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, like in my opinion, I think I don't, bro. Honestly, I mean, AEW, do they need him?
Right.
In honest opinion, I don't think they do. I really don't think, not at the moment at least, because they're brilliant how they are at the moment. That whatever they're doing right now, keep it going. You don't need anyone new. That's what I
mean,
think anyway.
to have him would be a plus, but he's not necessarily needed at the moment because they're doing pretty good at holding their own with the people who they do currently have.
Right.
But
WWE,
of course, he'd be a benefit. He'd be a benefit anywhere that he goes. He's relevant.
right. And see, that's what I had said before. I said, you know, does AEW really need Bray? Like you were saying, Hun. Yeah, absolutely, he'd be a benefit wherever he went. But with the talent that AEW already has, it's kind of like now I feel like you're just stacking the roster. Like your roster's already not stacking it, padding it. Like I mean.
You also got to think too, you know, that they're still a relatively new company. I feel like Tony Khan is doing a really good job. Don't get me wrong, but if he continues to keep, putting out money to sign all these people, eventually, I think that they're going to start doing exactly what WWE is doing and start releasing people because they're not. I don't know what the financial situation is like, but there's a possibility that they're going to start releasing people due to budget cuts.
Well, it's already been said that the Khans have way more money than Vince, which if you can fucking believe that, like.
But what I'm just saying is, in order to have that much money, you keep track of what you're spending on everything. There's a reason why they have that much money, is my point. So, you know, if you keep contracting all of these people, eventually you're going to have too many people. You're not going to know what to do with who. And eventually you're going to start doing budget cuts, too, to save out on money.
Well, see, I think, honestly, like, AEW, and I'll get your thoughts on this, Beans. AEW has really, really focused, and I obviously I want your opinion, too, on AEW has really, really focused on the wrestling more so than the overall product. They didn't go all out and get fancy with this fucking, 3D pop outs of, Roman Reigns and Becky and all this other shit. They don't have that kind of stuff for like Darby and Sting. They gave you, the intro, the pyro, and then you get really good fucking wrestling. I think WWE has had a real problem with trying to be so innovative and so grandiose that the wrestling is suffering.
But you don't need to be, innovative and, eye-catchy and everything else. At the end of the day, it's wrestling. I have been a huge fan of wrestling since I was 2 years old. I have so much crap stored up in here, it's unreal. I amaze myself sometimes, not to get myself a big head. But if you go back to the Attitude Era, they didn't have no extra graphics. They didn't have all these little things floating around on your screen. It was wrestling. And to me, my personal opinion, you can disagree with me all you want to, but I'll defend it to the day I die. The Attitude Era was the best era in wrestling.
Absolutely.
I agree, 100%.
Absolutely.
They didn't have all this flashy crap, and this, that, and what have you. It was wrestling.
Yep. Yeah.
And that is part of what WWE had. I'd say it's part of their downfall with what they're doing now compared to what they used to do. There wasn't no PG rating. For God's sakes, you had handicap matches. You saw blood. People actually, it looked more realistic, I'll say.
People like blood.
What it does.
When it comes to wrestling. Like, they love it.
you know, they want to feel like, obviously, wrestling fans aren't stupid, okay? By and large, for the most part, they realize that it's scripted. They realize that it's entertainment. But wrestling fans aren't stupid. You don't have to dumb things down. You don't have to make things all touch and go and touchy feely. You know, uh, instead of calling people assholes, they're calling people idiots. You're a big idiot. Like, what are you, 5? Come on, man. Like,
It's to me, it's cringy. It is cringy.
absolutely. And
You got somebody the size. I'm sorry, babe, but you got somebody the size of like Brock Lesnar. You're such an idiot. Blah blah blah. Bro.
well, I mean, guys like Brock. See, the thing I like about Brock is going to be Brock, no matter what. Brock is Brock, and I do think that AEW is taking a lot of liberties with the cussing and the flipping off, and sometimes they go a little extra, but you know what? They're staying true to who they are trying to be. Whatever that is good enough to be competing with what was once considered, as I've said before, the top of the fucking mountain. It didn't get any higher than WWE. WWE was the crown jewel, so to speak. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry if I'm moving my camera. I'm trying to get comfortable.
You're fine.
Another thing as well, like they've gone to the PG era. PG stands for parental guidance, right? Or parental something. But like, you take, the Attitude era. I can't fucking know. You take the Attitude era. Fucking hell. You take the Attitude era to PG, right? Regardless. PG, in my opinion, over his parental guidance. So it's basically saying your parents are allowing you to watch it. So they shouldn't have even changed. They should have put it to PG. Yeah, they should still allow blood. They should still allow, obviously, a lot of swearing, because then, therefore, it's up to your parent to say, yeah, you can watch it. It's fine. It's fake. It's this, it's that, So they're pushing... Oh, bro, just... And just another thing as well. Sorry, going back to this Bray Wyatt situation. It's not even Bray Wyatt, to be honest with you. AEW, they opened the forbidden door.
Yeah.
So that helped them out a lot themselves. And WWE are like, oh shit, like, that's a rule you don't do. You open that forbidden door. For like New Japan and New Japan and TNA, right? Impact. They opened the forbidden door for them. So them opening that forbidden door then allows them to, I guess you could say, use their wrestlers. They can use their wrestlers, blah, blah, blah. So they're technically working together to build this up. And the Khans, like, they own a fucking football team over here, soccer team in American terms. They own a football team stadium. So they're getting so much money. It's unreal. So that they could easily just like, yeah, there's a couple million just come on stuff. They could do that without a doubt. I'm not surprised they're billionaires. Another thing with WWE is that everybody blames Vince, and it ain't even Vince's fault. It really isn't. It's not Vince's. I wouldn't say it's Vince's fault at all.
He's got the ultimate say at the end of the day.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
Everything.
Vince has final say, and the perfect example of that is on Raw when they said that he threw one of the biggest tantrums that anybody has ever seen, and totally ripped up the fucking script and made a bunch of changes. Listen. Nothing happens in that company without Vince's say-so. Nothing.
Man literally knows everybody's business, everything in, everything out, that you can't get nothing past him.
Like, it's so much so that Vince is sitting behind Gorilla with a headset and a mic, and he's talking to the commentators.
And this is every show.
This is every show. Don't say this. Say this. Don't say this. You know, like there's certain things that the commentators are not allowed to say because Vince hears everything. Everything that's happening, Vince knows about.
Well, even with the whole catastrophe with Owen Hart.
Yeah.
He wanted the show to go on. The man just died in your ring. Just died in your ring.
Well.
And the only thing you're going to sit there and tell JR to say is, well, Owen Hart passed away, but upcoming now.
Well, you know what? That's kind of like the snake bite for, you know, the entertainment business is the show must go on. They now I understand what you're saying, have some respect, have some decorum, but you can't stop an entire production, an entire show because of a tragic accident. It was a tragic accident, but there's no way in hell, period, that Vince is going to shut everything down because there was an accident.
Honey. Well, then tell me why right after Chris Benoit died, they shut all of Raw completely down that next day. And they dedicated a whole entire show to him. They did it for Eddie Guerrero. But yet with Owen Hart, for some reason, he literally just died in your ring.
Well, no, they didn't,
and then you're just gonna.
They didn't shut the show down. They held a tribute. But now, if you're talking about Chris Benoit, they did that for Chris Benoit because I don't think they knew the specifications of what happened just yet. When they found out that it was Chris who did what he did, you know, I don't want to go into all that. Everybody knows the Chris Benoit story. Once they found out what he did, he was blacklisted. I
know we were.
They like blackballed, whatever. They stripped everything about Chris Benoit. You can't find any of his matches. You can't find any nothing. It's like he never existed.
Well, like to me, like Vince amazes me with half of the stuff that he does. He is very much a favoritistic type of person, I will say.
Yeah.
Not that it has anything to do with what we were talking about with Bray, but since we're on this topic anyway, but like I said, he is very much a favoritistic type of person. And you can see with the way that he has treated his talent, past and present.
Yeah. Sorry about this, guys. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. I will get it fixed. No worries. Boom. We're good.
But going back to Bray, though, like, he could be still, you know, liking or responding to their posts just out of goodwill, saying that there's, you know, no harm or foul to either side of the party. He has got no issues with them. But that doesn't mean that he's going to go back to them either.
Yeah, I think he will go to SmackDown. I just have this feeling. Like, I've had this feeling since, I guess you could say, he left. You know, I've always said it, that I reckon he's going to come back. If not SmackDown, then Raw. Or if not, then it'll be Survivor Series. He's next, right? Yeah, Survivor Series next. You know, but to be honest, it's like what Evil just said. You know, regardless if he goes to AEW or he goes to WWE, you know, regardless, like, oh shit, you know, I'm going to be like sick. You know, regardless, I'll watch both of them. You know, so I'm just like, yeah, I'm happy with that. So regardless of which one he goes to, I'm going to be really happy about. You know. And that's like Strowman as well. I think with Strowman, he's definitely going to Impact. I think it's been announced now and everything. But then personally, I think Strowman I feel like he's gone down.
Well, to me, I feel like Strowman didn't get as much pull as what Bray did with the crowd, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, they knew he was there, but they weren't behind him quite as much as what they were Bray
Right.
in their own presence.
Yeah.
So I really don't think that people are really watching for him as much as what they are Bray.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Talking about Strowman as well.
Right. No.
And then I brought up the fact that I agree with you, regardless if Bray Wyatt or Wyndham goes to either Raw or AEW, I'm like, oh shit, I'm happy. You know, regardless of which one.
SmackDown.
So, yeah. But no, either way, you know. So.
Yeah. No. I think Bray really got his push from being with Wyndham and Luke Harper, rest in peace. Yeah, I mean, they once again had this big massive guy that, was supposed to be this big untouchable monster, just running through people. And after a while, the gimmick kind of wore off. I feel like they tried to do the whole sympathy angle with saying that he was just a big dumb, strong guy, and he was like, I'm not dumb. I have feelings just like everybody else. So it's like, oh my god, y'all are really pushing this PG shit, aren't you? Like, we know you're not dumb. Like, we get it, but, dude, I just, Bray respectively is what, like you guys said, it's what everybody's looking forward to. It's what everybody's got their eyes on right now.
Wherever he decides to go, I mean, ultimately it is up to him at the end of the day. I just hope that he makes the right decision and he's happy with it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He just go, oh yeah, for sure. Dummy.
You big dummy.
Good feelings as well.
So, so his new gimmick, apparently, as he's been teasing, is supposed to be the Cult of Wyndham. Do you guys think that this is just something that he's just going under by himself? Obviously, a cult would suggest that there's going to be more than just himself. So if he does come back, who do you think he's bringing along with him?
Buddy Murphy.
Just say.
Buddy Murphy.
Buddy Murphy?
Yeah.
His twin.
Oh. You know what? It would be cool. It would be cool to see Bray and Bo do something together.
That's what I think.
It would make sense. I mean, for God's sake, we've had to suffer through the fucking Usos long enough. It'd be cool to see another brother tag team or something like that. In that regard,
Are you a believer?
I mean, Bo's cool, but
You're not a believer?
I'm not a believer. I'm a cult follower, I guess, or whatever he's gonna call it. I'm following the buzzards.
You can't follow the buzzards and not be a believer.
Why can't I?
Because you can't, babe.
Yes, I can.
Anyway, you two lovebirds, as I was going to fucking say, we're on a podcast. I totally agree. So if he does go back to WWE, it would be good to see him and Bo. But then if he went to AEW, I'd really want to see him and Malachi.
Well, wait a minute. Is Bo even still with WWE?
I don't think he's been released.
They released him before they released Bray.
That's right. He was released.
But regardless, if they both went back to WWE, that would be very interesting to see. But then if he went to AEW, I'd really want him to do something with Malachi.
Okay, so if he does go back to WWE, who does he start a feud with? And who does he start a feud with that makes sense, that isn't like, are you fucking kidding me? These two? Why?
Like, I would like to see him and the Demon.
I agree. I agree 100%.
You said this, yeah. You said this when we were saying this.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
And personally, for me anyway, babe, you already know this, but I've always liked the darker characters. They've
Here's that.
Yeah, so
just my personal preference. I've always liked the darker characters. I'm not a fan, obviously, of your typical average pretty boy, Ken doll, Barbie-looking people. You can get those that Diamond does, but to me, it's like for me as a wrestling fan, I want you to captivate me.
Yeah.
I want to feel your presence. I want to, give me some type of feeling, not just with your wrestling, but with your presence too.
Yeah.
And with Bray, when he entered as the Fiend, I'm like, holy shit, I really dig this. And to me, even when he was with, the rest of the Wyatt family compared to him as the Fiend, I love the Fiend so much more, as opposed to him being with them.
That's where I love everything that Bray's done. Bray was able to take,
the muscle man dance.
Bray,
No, that's
He literally did the muscle. It's fucking. I think it's great.
That was what's his face before he turned heel. I forgot his name now. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Babe, you like him?
What?
The big guy. He can't put his arms down. He used to dance and
Otis.
do
Otis.
Yeah.
Love Otis.
No, it was when he was his Fiend character, wasn't it? He done like some really weird video of him do the muscle man dance, starts dancing. Did you see it?
No, I didn't see that.
You need to see it. It's great. Although it's really cringy, but it's really good. I'll have to send it to you after. It's really good.
So what I liked about Bray is Bray was able to take that, redneck character, not like a JBL or Cowboy Bob Orton or anything, or fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He was able to take that redneck character and make it fucking creepy. That's why when he was with the Wyatt family, he was still fucking creepy. But then when he added that Fiend element, it was like, whoa, like, oh shit, okay, like.
I remember. I'm pretty sure, and this is bad of me for not looking it up before I got on here, but I'm pretty sure he debuted as the Fiend at SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Oh no, was it? Because I know it was against what's his fucking name? What's his name? He's Irish, which is Balor. Finn Balor, fucking hell. Finn Balor debuted against Balor, wasn't it?
I don't.
I believe that
This
was
is
on
horrible.
Raw.
Like I said, I should have looked all this up before I got on, which is this is what I
Yeah,
said.
I think it was on Raw. Was it SummerSlam?
But remember, he debuted, like I said, with SummerSlam 2 years ago, and the feeling that I got, as soon as the music hit and he was coming down the entrance, you don't get that with everybody. When he was with the whole entire Wyatt family, I never got that feeling. But when he did this, it's like I dig this. I like it.
I mean, it's like I said. It's just it's a call to his character. He's able to invoke these emotions by doing, very little. He lets his creativity speak for itself, which is fucking amazing. And very hard to do, being that WWE has such a fucking stranglehold on, the creative process.
Okay.
So
They did pretty good creatively with the New Day.
It's
I had
a
to
new
get
day.
that in.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Don't you be sour.
I'm very sour. I'm very sour.
Don't you dare be sour.
I mean, they gave the king of the. You know what? We're not gonna go. No, you're not gonna fucking bait me. We're talking about Bray Wyatt right now. That would be. Shut up.
Have some
I will
pancakes and
leave. I will leave.
you're gonna leave for some pancakes.
Yeah, right. Anyway,
Or bootios.
Pancakes out of my underwear for you.
so no, honestly though, the question really hasn't been answered. So, Bo Dallas got released. I don't see him teaming up with Buddy Murphy. So, who do you think makes the most? Who? Fuck you. Who?
Don't you dare be sour.
You know who I'd like to see him get into an angle with that would be really cool if they went all the way with it. I think him and Edge would be able to pull off some really dark, really strong matches.
Maybe if Edge went back to his brood roots, I would say
Right.
that would be the only aspect I can see that.
No, I think that Edge is dark enough or well, a strong enough wrestler, strong enough character to still bring that. I'm gonna do it. You ready? He's still strong enough character to bring that edge. Stupid. But no, I think he would be a realistic challenge for Bray. Although, like I said,
You want to know who else? Go ahead.
No, although, like I said, honestly, I would love to see him do some angles with Demon Finn.
I would also like to see him do some angles with Jeff Hardy's Willow.
Yeah, yes,
Ooh.
I said that too. Yes. Now the thing is that Jeff has been teasing Willow, but we still haven't seen him yet. And wait a minute, if I remember correctly, Jeff Hardy said that down the line, Willow, he was going to have some kind of change. Wouldn't you?
Is to say that Bray doesn't go back to WWE and Will is part of his cult.
That would. Oh man! Wow.
Just saying.
That would be fucking. That would be amazing.
Wait, it also makes a little bit of sense if it happens as well, because obviously you had Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy as well.
Well, Matt's
When they was a tag team together, they went really fucking well. Just that fucking, craziness. So Willow is there as well. It's like, you see what I'm saying now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously, if Bray were to go to AEW, I don't think he would mix up with Matt, because Matt's not even doing the whole. Oh shit! What was that? What was the gimmick called, babe? Help me out here.
Broken.
Yeah, Broken Matt Hardy. He's not doing the whole broken thing. He's big money Matt now. And can I say
he's kind of taken a backseat a little bit to managing, which I think with him being a veteran, he's been doing this for years. I think it fits him, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, Matt's always been, a talker. He's always been one to have 1,000,001 ideas. I think it is time in his career to start giving some guys a push.
Well, you need to think too. He's got 4 kids now. I think he's getting settled down to where he still loves the business. He's always going to love the business. Matt has always loved the business.
I think Matt.
You know what I mean?
Matt in some kind of capacity is always going to be a part of the business, whether he's wrestling or not.
But like I said, with him though, I think his body might be slowing down a little bit. And like I said, he's got 4 kids now. He has a wife. He's got a home. He's got family. He's got. I don't want to say higher priorities, but other priorities to fulfill with his life now too.
Right.
So
Can
I
I
mean,
just
if he
say
could,
something?
if he
Sorry.
could take a back seat, oh, you're fine. But if he could take a back seat a little bit, but still be involved, just personally, I think he's content with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't see why not at this point. Like I said, I think that Matt Hardy has 100% earned the right to be a permanent fixture somewhere, no matter what the capacity is. Um, that's just my opinion on it.
Can I just say something that I hope you two agree with me here? This whole fuck you. This whole Alexa Bliss gimmick needs to stop because now it's just why.
Well, she's supposed to be. So she's been teasing about going back to her original, dropping the whole. Now wait a minute. You know what? I literally just thought about this because you brought up Alexa. She's supposed to be going back to her original gimmick. At least that's what she's teasing. Now, wouldn't it be some shit if she's going back to her original gimmick because Bray is coming back to SmackDown? So they want a total, disconnect that Bray and Alexa were ever a thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, she did turn her back on him.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
So if Bray comes back, there's no connection there. Like Alexa's not doing the whole fucking Lily thing and all that shit. Alexa's back to being, Alexa. Bray comes back with a whole new thing. So it's like it's fresh. It's like it all never happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a fresh start, but people are still going to look at, I guess, some type of aspect and feel some type of way, maybe, because of them, because the WWE did release him, and she was still kind of carrying on to what he created.
Right. Well, and it's like I've said before. I don't think you can blame Alexa for that, though. I don't feel as though that's her fault. I feel like she was given an angle, and she took that angle and ran with it, and then for whatever fucking reason they released Bray, and she even got on Instagram and Twitter and was like, "Dude, my mind is fucking blown. Like I didn't see it coming." So you can't blame her for carrying on an angle that she was brought into. Because respectfully, she was brought into it. It was Bray's angle. It was the Fiend's angle, and they brought her in. So she had to do her job and carry that out.
So, do you know who else would be good at doing the angle that Alexa Bliss is doing? I know you don't like her, you really don't like her, but I think that Nikki Cross would have been quite good at that.
That's what I've said. Go back to where she was at when she was Insanity.
She was so much better than not this fucking almost a superhero, whatever you want to call
I
it.
loved Nikki Cross when she was Insanity. And also, to be honest with you, I think Rhea Ripley would do the Fiend good too, considering how she carries herself.
I think she would obviously, but I think here's something that all of us fans need to come to grips with, and it's gonna make a lot of people upset. Unfortunately, I think that the Fiend has come and gone. I think that they had arguably one of the best gimmicks that they've had in years, and found a way to fuck it up so badly that there's no saving it at this point. Hence why Wyndham has now created the cult of Wyndham. Like I along with everybody else am absolutely devastated and heartbroken to see a fantastic gimmick go to waste. But it's like I said, I think we need to come to grips with the fact that the Fiend is come and gone, and now it's up to Bray to shock and awe us like he has been able to do since he's come in.
Right. Yeah, the Fiend is no longer a thing. Let's just cut that out there. It's no longer a thing. I totally agree with you. And I just want to say one more thing, because I'm getting all these ideas in my head now. Just go with me here. So imagine if he goes to AEW, right? And this cult, right? So imagine in this cult you have Darby Allin, Sting, and Malachi.
I mean,
to make up the cult.
Hey, look, I'm telling you right now, bro. If that were to happen, I'm sure that there would be nobody who would be upset. I mean, it would be fantastic for purely selfish reasons. But I don't think that, knowing how, Bray is, I don't think that he would, go after the big guys like that. I think he would try to create something from the ground up, like he was able to do with the Wyatt family, like he was able to do with the Fiend, because obviously Sting and Darby are already established. But yeah, no, don't get me wrong, it would be fucking awesome. Like I wouldn't complain.
Abaddon would be a good fit for that group too. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Yeah, Abaddon would be pretty cool. It would fit.
That's familiar.
It would fit in with it would definitely fit in with Darby and Sting, like just for aesthetic. So I think it would fit in for more aesthetic reasons than it would fit in for storyline reasons. She's got the look, but as far as storyline, I don't know.
They've only been putting her on, AW Dark.
Right. Well, as we said, everybody, SmackDown, AEW Rampage, 2 days away. Bray Wyatt's tweet, 2 more days. We don't know what it means. All we can do is sit back and wait. Guys, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
No.
Like I said, to be honest, I think people are probably reading a little bit too much into it. Like I said, who's to say that it's not something personal? So only thing I'm going to say is just don't get your hopes up. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's something I can't help. I'm going to get my hopes up and get let down. It happens. Especially with wrestling these days, Well, WWE, should I say.
Yeah, pretty much I feel as though, once again, we're all in that, holding pattern, that wait and see mentality. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say 2 days away? I meant 1 day away.
1 day away
because
now.
It's Thursday. My bad, everybody. Yeah, so all we can do at this point is wait and see. Guys, if you have any thoughts, please be sure to leave some comments. Let us know what you think. We'd love to see what you guys are thinking. And with all that said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you never miss a video from that guy over there.
And that guy over there? Am I pointing at you? I don't know if I am.
You're good.
I got it right there!
Alright, guys. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed so far, and I want to thank my fiance for being on the show today. Hey, man.
Only because you're cute.
Yeah, well, Until next time, guys. See ya.